I clutch the warm dime in my palm and feel its rich edges against my sweaty skin. Mom says I can ride my bike to Miller's 5 and dime all by myself today for the very first time. My heart pounds like a drum as I push my red Schwinn bicycle out of the cool garage. The morning sun makes the chrome handlebars hot to touch, almost burning my fingers. I swing my leg over the vinyl seat and feel so grown up and important and free. The dime is safe in my front pocket, and I pat it through the cotton fabric to make sure. I push off with my foot and start pedaling down our familiar concrete sidewalk. The concrete squares bump 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 under my tires in a steady, comforting rhythm. Mrs. Henderson waves from her vegetable garden where she's picking bright red tomatoes in a wicker basket. I wave back with one hand while steering carefully with the other, trying to look confident. The warm morning air smells like fresh cut grass and sweet honeysuckle climbing the fence. I pedal faster and my hair flies back from my face, tickling my ears. The silver spokes make a whirring sound that gets faster and faster with each turn. I pass the big oak tree where we sometimes play hide and seek on summer evenings. A fat bumblebee buzzes lazily around the bright yellow dandelions growing by the curb. The black asphalt feels warm under my bicycle tires. Even through the thick rubber, I can smell it heating up in the sunshine. That special summer street smell I love. My shadow pedals alongside me on the sidewalk, keeping perfect time like a friend. The bike chain makes a gentle clicking sound with each turn of the pedals. I squeeze the dime again and think about all the wonderful candy treasures I might buy. Maybe some pink Bazooka Joe bubble gum with the funny comic strips wrapped inside the waxy paper. Or those colorful candy buttons stuck on long white strips of paper that taste like pure sugar. Perhaps a handful of chocolate M&Ms that melt in my mouth, not in my hands like the television says. The sweet possibilities dance in my head like tiny sugar fairies having a party. I turn the corner carefully and pedal up the small hill near Jefferson Elementary School. My legs work harder now, pushing against the pedals, but I feel strong and determined like a real adventurer. A red-breasted robin hops across the sidewalk in front of me, then flies away to a maple tree. The tall bell tower at St. Mary's Church chimes 10 times in the distance, echoing through the neighborhood. I coast down the other side of the hill, my bike picking up speed as the wind catches me. The rushing air whooshes past my ears and makes everything feel like flying through the summer morning. I press gently on my hand brakes and feel the bike slow down as I approach Main Street. There it is, Miller's 5 and dime with its faded blue canvas awning fluttering in the breeze. The red and white striped wooden sign creaks gently back and forth above the entrance. I can already smell something sweet and wonderful floating out through the screen door. My stomach does a little nervous flip of excitement as I carefully park my bike against the hitching post. I lean it against the weathered wooden post by the door, making sure it won't fall over. The dime feels slippery now from my sweaty palm after the long bike ride. I wipe my hands on my cotton shorts and take a deep breath of the candy-scented air. The screen door has a silver handle that's already warm from the morning sun. I pull it open and hear the familiar ding-a-ling of the brass bell hanging above the doorframe. The cool air inside feels wonderful and refreshing after my hot bike ride through the sunny neighborhood. My eyes need a moment to adjust to the dim, friendly light inside the old-fashioned store. The wooden floors creak and groan under my white canvas sneakers as I step carefully inside. The magical smell hits me all at once: rich chocolate, cool peppermint, and something wonderfully sweet I can't name. Tall glass jars line the shelves behind the counter, filled with colorful candies that look like precious jewels. Red cinnamon sticks stand at attention in one jar like tiny wooden soldiers guarding their post. Orange and yellow gummy bears swim together in another jar, all different bright colors mixed together. The chocolate bars are lined up perfectly on the lower shelf like books in a library. Hershey's milk chocolate bars in their familiar brown wrappers look so serious and important. Nestle Crunch bars promise that special snap and crackle when you bite into the crispy rice. The comic book rack spins slowly when I give it a gentle push with my finger. Batman and Superman stare at me seriously from their colorful covers, ready for adventure. But today I only have one precious dime burning in my pocket, and candy is calling my name. Mr. Miller stands behind the glass counter, carefully polishing a large candy jar with a white cloth. His white canvas apron has a small brown chocolate stain that makes me smile with recognition. He looks up from his work and his kind eyes crinkle at the corners when he notices me. "Well, hello there, young one," he says in his warm, rumbly voice that sounds like Grandpa. "What brings you to my humble candy store on this beautiful Saturday morning?" I hold up my shiny dime proudly between my thumb and finger, like it's made of pure silver. "I came to buy some candy with my very own money," I announce with tremendous importance and pride. He nods very seriously, stroking his gray mustache, as if this is the most important business transaction in the entire world. I walk slowly along the curved glass candy counter, studying each delicious choice with the concentration of a scientist. The waxy red lips look funny and silly, like smiling mouths without faces attached to them. The rainbow pixie sticks are lined up like colorful paper straws filled with magical sweet powder. A bright package of Bazooka Joe bubblegum winks at me from behind the sparkling clean glass. I remember the last comic strip I got and my gum Joe was flying a red kite on a windy day. The pink bubblegum always tastes like concentrated sugar and pure childhood happiness mixed together. But then my eyes spot them a perfect roll of Smarties, looking like tiny colorful coins from a fairy tale. They're perfect little circles of chalky sweetness that slowly dissolve on your tongue like flavored snow. I point carefully to the Smarties with my small finger and look up at Mr. Miller hopefully. "Excellent choice, my young friend," he says kindly, reaching for the candy roll with his gentle hands. His big weathered hands are surprisingly gentle as he places the Smarties carefully on the glass counter. I put my warm dime down next to the colorful candy and hear it make a tiny metallic clink. He scoops up the coin and drops it into the old brass cash register with satisfaction. The antique register makes a loud, satisfying cha-ching sound when the drawer springs open with authority. He tears off a small brown paper bag from the stack and shakes it open with a crisp snap. The roll of Smarties drops into the bag with a soft rattling sound like tiny pebbles. He carefully folds the top of the bag twice and hands it to me with a warm, grandfatherly smile. "You enjoy every single one of those now," he says, and his voice is as warm as summer sunshine. I clutch the crinkly paper bag against my chest like it contains the most precious treasure in the world. The brown paper crinkles softly, and I can feel the round candies shifting inside like small marbles. "Thank you very much, Mr. Miller," I say politely, feeling very grown up and responsible. The brass bell dings cheerfully again as I carefully push through the squeaky screen door. The bright sunshine outside seems even more golden and beautiful than it was before. I place my bag of Smarties very carefully in the wicker basket attached to my handlebars. The bike ride home feels completely different now. I'm returning triumphant with my sweet treasure. I pedal much slower this time, savoring this perfect moment of ownership and independence. The gentle wind carries the familiar scent of honeysuckle and summer adventure through my hair. My bicycle bumps gently and rhythmically over each crack in the familiar sidewalk. I can hardly wait to sit in the cool shade and taste my very first precious Smartie. Maybe I'll save all the red ones for last. They're always the sweetest and most special. The dime is completely gone from my pocket, but somehow I feel richer than I did this morning. My pocket is empty of money, but my heart is completely full of joy and accomplishment. This is exactly what freedom tastes like, sweet and earned and entirely mine. I'm already planning my next exciting trip to Mr. Miller's wonderful candy store. Oh, and before you go, if this story made your heart feel warm, please give it a little thumbs up. And if you want to hear more stories about my 1960 seconds world, maybe you could subscribe. It would make me super happy. Thanks a bunch.